All right. So, um, people are still jumping on. We'll just go ahead and let them. I will be just getting started. Again, thank you so much for joining my webinar today. I've been with IMES for almost 2 years now. November will be my 2-year anniversary, and I truly enjoy working with IMES. I enjoy working with everybody here, and then, of course, I love working with my agents and meeting new agents. And so, the first 10 minutes will be, hopefully under 10 minutes, will be about IM's value propositions for newcomers. This is a great way for you to learn and soak up everything that we have here to offer at IM's. Just get a little taste of everything. If you call in or once I reach out to you after this, you'll probably get a little bit more of an in-depth conversation of the value proposition that we have here at IMES because as you know, no business is the same from another. You guys all have customized approaches to how you do business, what you do in your practice, and so we take that customized approach, we collaborate with you on a high level and really put together a strategy in order for you to scale and grow your practice. So I'm really excited. This is a very important webinar because I'm going to be going over macro tax planning. This is the background that I come from. Not specifically macro tax planning, but retirement planning on a very comprehensive high level scale. I actually, before I came to IMES, I was a field agent. And so I know what it's like to sit in a house. I know what it's like to do the cold calls. I know what it's even like to do the door knocking. And so I'm really excited to be part with IMES. As an independent marketing organization because there's just so much value here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. As our first new business builder, we do have our new producer bonus. This is something that you have access to for 180 days. So when you first come on to IMES and you contract with one carrier, could be a limited distribution carrier, or it could be of one of the several carriers that you probably already know, love, and right. uh, you go from $100,000 level all the way up to the $1 million level in annuity production or life equivalent, and you have all of these incentives that you're seeing here on the screen. And just so I can check and make sure, I'm not seeing any concerns saying my screen is not showing, so I think we're good. But on the new producer builder, so let's say your first case is $100,000 within 180 days. What you can get with that is a 1,500-piece postcard mailing, iPad, $750 cash, or a corporate identity package. Those are all great things. I see my agents do that usually within the first week, 2 week, 3 weeks. And then we get to the middle tiers of 250,000, 500,000, 750,000. The middle tier, usually average case size. And so we really like this because in here there's a lot of different good marketing incentives. As you see, you've got mailers, you can do marketing reimbursement. Let's say you already have a great marketing program that works great for you. You can do $2,000 in marketing reimbursement on that $250,000 level. Same thing on the 500, 750. What you're seeing on the screen here, I do not want you to feel limited to. It is always up for conversation because, again, one of our value propositions is we customize and we collaborate. So the only way we're going to be able to know how to help your business is if you let us know what's going on. And then as you see here, we get up to the $1 million level. I've seen some people do that as well in their first 180 days. And what you get there, 8 to 10 preset annuity appointments, safe money marketing, core story, brand builder, uh, publishing within the news outlets. So there's really a lot of different things. And like I said, do not feel limited to what you see on here. If you already have something that's working on that's something that's working with you, let me know. And then, as part of our business builders, once you graduate from the 180 days and you're absolutely loving IMS doing business, you do get a marketing reimbursement balance. So, for every $100,000 of annuity premium, you are getting $100 back into your marketing reimbursement account. I have one agent right now, he's got a good $4,000 on him right now for his marketing reimbursement. So, we're really happy there. The sky's the limit for what he could do with that as well. Single premium life for every $100,000 of single premium life and premium, you're getting $200 back. On life target premium, every $10,000 you're doing, you're getting $200 back. You'll also see up above there the referred producer program. So just as referrals are the lifeline of your business, it's the lifeline of ours too. We're in the same industry, we're just on a different scale, working with agents rather than working with clients like you all do. But as you know, a referral is the best thank you that you can give us. And in return, Stephen Charles' favorite checks to sign are these referral bonuses that you're getting. So for every agent that you refer over to IMES and they contract on their first contract, you get a $50 one-time bonus, and then you do get a little bit of override as well. They are not LOA to you, they are LOA to IMES. This is simply just a thank you for providing us a great solid agent like yourself to work with. And so you can get up to thousands of dollars just on referral money on this referred producer program because this is paid on a quarterly basis. And so what the override looks like is on single premium life, you get 0.075% of any SPL business they're doing. On life target, 0.15%. On any indexed annuities, 0.20%, and then on MIGA business, 0.10%. Now, this is something, again, I want to reiterate. This is not like building a downline or some other structures that you may have seen out there. Or if you're an agency owner, for example, we have a very specific program that's not on this slide. That's our IMES Partners program. That's specifically for agency owners and completely different from this. The Referred Producer program, that is just a huge thank you for providing us, again, for an agent to work with. So definitely love that there as an incentive and as a business builder. We do have the most amazing back office support, and I say that because, again, I came from the field, so I know what good back office support looks like, and part of that is simply the people that are working here. So I'm really proud to say that our new business team, they're absolutely amazing. They're really efficient, they know how to handle business, and they know how to get things to issue. We're really blessed to have people like a Ben Lopez or a Mackenzie Abbott or a Sam S. or all of the people, Tim Ward, that we have here that does that scrubs our Firelight apps, Kirsten Talley, um, Sean Steeren, all of these new business people. I say them by name because truly nobody else has these people, but IMES does, and I think that's what's part of what makes the back office so special and so unique to IMES, the people. And so not only do we have the people that are behind all of this stuff, doing all the legwork, getting your cases to issue, we also have great business building tools and resources. We've got case design assistants, that's your lovely marketers on the life and annuity side. And we do also have a senior health section as well. Anna, she does an amazing job at helping you figure out which plans to go with in that area. And then we do have quoting tools all in one portal along with our sales resources library. So I highly encourage you to jump onto the IMES portal and really evaluate everything that you may not have on there because there's a lot of good information on there. And so that always kind of foreshadows the IMES website, the back office support. I always think that the two go hand in hand because people and tools, you need all of that stuff to be able to run a successful practice. if you're going to be doing this alone, it's going to be very, very difficult. So just having the right people behind you in your corner, all of the right tools and resources is very valuable. And so we have everything all in one portal. Everything is always accessible. Just because we are here Monday through Friday does not mean you cannot access the IMS portal. Um, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that you have access to that whenever you like. And like I said, there's quoting tools on there for life insurance. There's a great underwriting guide on there. Plus, we do have our own in-house underwriter, a physical person that you could call into. Her name is Andrea. I call her Andy. And then we do have long-term care product grids as well, um, which is also something I think is very valuable. So check that out. And then we do have our e-app solutions. We use Sunfire, iPipeline, Firelight, Luma Firelight. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a specific staff to help you take care of all of these needs. Let's say you're not as tech savvy like I am, or um, just not tech savvy in general. Oh, whoops. We are really, really glad to have our support staff that's able to assist you. Even if you're in the app, they can log in and help get things cleaned up for you and just kind of guide you through the app. And also, like I mentioned, Tim Ward earlier, he scrubs the apps, makes sure that we're avoiding NIGOs as much as possible. So, certainly a really huge value add for some of my agents, especially. Um, you can rest assured that the stuff that you're submitting isn't going to be sitting on our desk for 3 days, not even a day. Our Firelight staff is on top of it along with our marketers, so take value in that. We do have our creative services led by our in-house creative department. They are absolutely amazing. And I'm not just biased because I work here. I'm biased because if I were an agent, I know that I could have my full service branding. I could have my full service back office support here at IMS because it's all here in the building. So we've got two locations. We've got the Kansas location and then we've got the Omaha location. A lot of our staff is here at the Omaha headquarters, and so our creative services, that's a pretty equal split between Kansas and here in Omaha. But the point is, I can bug Ryan Ogle anytime I need to on any kind of web designer. I could always rest assured that Russell is taking great care of my agents and all of their headshots and all of the stuff that he does for them on campaigning. Julie does a fantastic job with the complementary marketing analysis that we do for our agents. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes that they do, which a lot of people really don't see. And so what you do see on paper, though, is the agency solutions, the digital solutions, and the turnkey options. You have all of that available, and they're always happy to assist on that end. And so here's a good example of, again, some of the services that they help. So Julie, she has been amazing with all of the marketing analyses that we've done together. I just take down the information and she's really the one that structures it and puts this together. So we have several different relationships with vendors. And again, we have our own in-house creative department. So there's really no limit to what you could do on the marketing side here at IMS. And then we do have our IMS Wealth Management team. Our IMS Wealth Management team, I always say that they're some of the nicest, friendliest people I've ever met. And as you know, in the industry, sometimes it can be a little intimidating going um, going to other advisors or just having that friend circle. I'm sure if you've got advisors in the industry, they are very, very, very high level type of people. And so our IMS Wealth Management people, not only are they high level, but they're also some of the nicest people, and they could help you increase your revenue, improve client retention, and strengthen your relationships because of the certain programs that they have. These are their main value propositions. And so if you're an aspiring securities advisor, I would highly encourage you to get in touch with them. and maybe ask about their starter program. And if you are already a securities registered advisor, I would certainly give them a call if you feel like your needs are not being met at the high level that you deserve. They will be at our Life and Annuity Academy that's coming up June 4th through the 6th. We actually also open an office for them, so now we're a lot closer. They were already pretty close, but now they're, within 10 minutes of us now. And so that's really nice. They're going to be up at our IAMS Academy. And on the insurance side, we will have this event from the 4th through the 6th of June. I believe that all of the slots have already been filled up for this next one, this upcoming one, but we will have about two more, and that's what we're planning for. And what comes along at the Life Annuity Academy is life and annuity agents. Typically, they tend to increase their revenue because of everything that we provide on the agenda. This is an all expense paid training. It's just a $500 registration fee. But the best part is once you do $250,000 of annuity premium, or life equivalent, you'll actually get that refunded back. So, in essence, if you're doing insurance to make a living, you're going to make that anyway, and you have all of your expenses covered. So, it's really, really a win win. Plus, of course, you're getting your commission off of the $250,000 you just made. So, really nice investment of time there. And if you have not been out to a Life and Annuity Academy yet, I would highly suggest to consider doing it this year. And of course, we have our academy seasons usually in the late spring, summertime, early fall. That way, you guys aren't suffering from our weather. Then we do have our trek to Quebec. That is our incentive trip. Really excited for that. We are coming up on our end of qualification period, so certainly check in with your IMS director to see where you stand on this. We are doing double trip credit points for any MyGia business that you're doing. If you do not know what a MyGia is, give us a call and we will certainly be happy to walk you through that. And so that comes to the end of my presentation on IAMS and the core values. You can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm just going to pop a really quick poll here because I tend to forget about that every now and then. So I will ask the first poll. Are you looking to scale your practice? Go ahead and launch that. So I'm going to give it a few minutes. I assume you all do, but there's always those few that say no. Usually the trolls on the group, I'll still give you a call, still ask you how you'd like to scale your business. Just what I do around here. Okay, thank you so much for answering. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll and maybe get through one more poll here. Would you like more information on our next Life and Annuity Academy? So, as I mentioned, oops. Oh goodness, I'm too fast of a clicker. It's okay. I think it's still up. But yes, as I mentioned, slots have filled up, so you will be eligible to be invited for the next one, which will probably be, we're shooting for August. So just keep that in the back of your head, back of your pocket. I know I closed that poll, so you might not be able to vote. I got too click friendly there, so I will be reaching out and I probably will be asking you for the next one if at all interested. So I'm going to go ahead, close that back up. Thank you so much for answering that and for attempting to before I quickly close that. I'm going to go ahead and keep rolling here and move on to the bread and butter of this webinar, macro tax planning. So what exactly is macro tax planning? Our IAMS macro tax planning kit for this year, what that includes, question and A and wrap up. This will be today's agenda. My objective for this webinar is to be able for you to feel like you know exactly what macro tax planning is, if you're already sort of familiar. And if you're not familiar with this concept, this is a concept. My goal here is to open that up for you. It's always good to present concepts to your clients because, as you know, the products tend to come secondary. The products come secondary to your relationship with the client and the concept that you're presenting. And so on the annuity side, for example, you know that someone's going to purchase an annuity for growth, income, or legacy, right? How can we connect macro tax planning to finding a way for this fixed indexed annuity or this MIGA to make sense to the client, where you're actually providing a solution and rather just selling a product? So that'll be what's up for today's agenda. Macro tax planning, what is it? So there's macro tax planning and then there's micro tax planning. Micro tax planning is minimizing taxes in the year, and macro tax planning is minimizing taxes over a lifetime by planning around legislative risk. So, macro tax planning is something that comes very heavily within retirement. And if you're doing this pretty early on, let's say you're working with someone in the 40s, 50s age range that is already starting to look into this and consider this, typically what you're going to look for maybe is like an IUL because they've got a little bit more time. But if you're dealing with someone in the 60s age range, 59 and above, they're already going to be thinking about this because they're closer to retirement. So, if we're trying to minimize taxes over a lifetime by planning around their retirement, you're going to need to have some vehicles ready to be able to connect point A to point B. And so some elements I do want to mention are on the life insurance side, for example, permanent life insurance, premium financing, estate planning. Um, if you work with businesses to businesses, charitable giving, worked on a pretty good case on charitable giving the other day because her goal was legacy. However, it didn't really pan out on the life insurance side, but on the annuity side, it panned out very nicely. um, and then tax arbitrage. On the annuity side, same thing, like I mentioned, growth, income, or legacy. So, very consistent concept there. And then just being able to provide the solutions to really minimize that tax over a lifetime instead of just year per year, because when you're older, you don't have the year by year to go by. People often do pay more taxes within retirement, and that's because of a confusing system that they have that treat various income types differently and contain hidden taxes and penalties, like senior health taxes and consequences. There's a lot that goes into that. So for our Medicare people, IRMA, for example, the inflation that clients have to deal with and some of the consequences that they're faced with in Medicare, that is a huge deal. And so, because their tax exposure changes throughout their stages of retirement, so for example, if you're turning 65, you know that you're going to be getting on to Medicare here soon. You're not necessarily thinking of the tax consequences and maybe hidden surcharges and inflation because you're just focused on the getting onto Medicare. And that's a really stressful time for some people because they're deciding on what they even want to do, whether they want to go with a Medicare Advantage plan or a Med Sub plan. So that in itself is already a conversation to have. And then the later conversation of being able to defer taxes out, that's going to be another big one. So um, the concept of macro tax planning is not a get in the house and get out quick type of concept. It's the type of concept where you're staying with your client throughout a lifetime. And so on an FIA, for example, if we go all the way up to a um, 10-year FIA, they're still only going to be 75 years old if you're doing a T64. So at that point, you're going to have to look at maybe doing another FIA. So you're staying in this house with clients as long as possible by presenting to them the macro tax planning concept. And honestly, they may already be thinking about it. They just may not know exactly what macro tax planning is. They may not know that there is a name for what they might already be thinking of. And so, because of all of this, because of how valuable this concept is, we did put together some client guides and some good information in our macro tax planning kit that I'll be giving you a call on and sending this out to. We have ready to use guides to help them understand the importance of tax planning. Now, on a higher level, especially with the higher net worth individuals, they may already understand this and they already may be looking for the right agent to be able to service them. For people that may not necessarily know that need a little bit more guidance and just for you to provide a little bit more to them, we have a wide range of information that we put on. We've got the tax diversification guide. We've got the IAMS Smart Wealth Accumulation Guide. These are things that you can provide to the client in order for them to feel safer going into their retirement. Because as I mentioned, there's a lot going on. We're signing up for Social Security. We're signing up for Medicare. There's a lot of signing going on, and so you're probably thinking, and the client's probably thinking, well, the last thing I want to do is sign off on a life insurance policy. The last thing I want to do is sign off on an annuity contract. And so, really structuring macro tax planning in a way where the annuities or the life insurance is just a vehicle for them to get to point A to point B. That's what our objective is of the whole appointment. So I really highly encourage you to take a look at these client guides that we've put together. There's also even a fact finder in here. I talk about fact finders all the time because I was always taught the better fact finder you are, the better of an agent you'll be. So preparing for your retirement and IRA overview. This is going to be especially well if you are big on the annuity side, looking to do any kind of like 401k rollovers and such. So, highly encourage you to take a look at this. What the macro tax planning kit actually is, it's not going to be like a physical mail kit, it's going to be a Google Drive with these several attachments, such as these attached to it. The other agent resources that you do have are the sales strategies, tax charts, and then some good explanations for handy reference. So not only do you have all that good information, client guides that are very basic, very simple to understand, you also have some stuff from carriers because again, we want to start planting seeds of vehicles of what they need, They may not know they need these things, but we have some things from Allianz, we have things from Equitable or Silac, as you know, and then we've got our tax exempt versus taxable equivalent yields. So there's a lot of advisors too that also incorporate annuities into their practice, especially for the higher net worth individuals. You know, they'll use a good portion for AUM and then they'll put maybe another good portion into a fixed indexed annuity or a MyGia. I've had people do that a lot with the SBLI Market Crest. Um, some people do Roth conversions. It really all just depends. And so we have a few good agent resources, but of course you could always connect with your IMS director to see what other resources the carrier of your choice may have available. And then we do also have PowerPoint presentations that we put together. So these are PowerPoint presentations. There's 3 of them in there. That middle one, the how tax planning affects the 4 key retirement challenges, that's the one that I'd probably be most comfortable with because one, that's my background, and two, it's about, gosh, I want to say it's maybe 40, 50 slides, that one. Um, but it's a little bit longer of a slide. So again, this concept is not meant for you to get in the house and get out. This is a long-term planning strategy for you to really develop and hone in on that relationship with your client. And so for higher net worth individuals, that middle slide, how tax planning affects the 4 key retirement challenges. Absolutely love that PowerPoint. I was going to use that one for this session, but just wanted to consolidate a little bit and give a general overview of what is available in this macro tax planning kit. You can always give me a call or give your IMS director a call for this specific PowerPoint and maybe how to present it in a way that feels natural and comfortable for you. I'm always happy to do that with my agents because, again, we take a customized approach. We want to collaborate with you. We don't want it to be the type of IMO where you're just doing business and we're just submitting casework. That's definitely not our end goal. We've been doing business for almost 40 years now, and we've had the same value ever since the beginning. Customer service. Everything comes down to customer service and the value of being able to call in and someone picks up. We don't have any voicemail, we don't have any robots. And so if you give me a call or if I call you after this, and you have a question on any of this or any case design you'd like to do, we're definitely going to be collaborating, and I'm not just going to be your order taker. And that goes the same for all of the directors that we have here. And our senior sales associates, they do a fantastic job as well. If you need a quick rate, if you need to know free withdrawal or surrender schedule on something, rest assured, if you've been with IMS for a while, you have always gotten that answer on the fly or within the next hour. It's never been a long of a waiting period, and it's never come to a point where things have just been sitting on our desk. And this is 40 years strong here. We have some of the same marketers from 30 years ago. Matt Tour, he's been here for 30 years, and so definitely didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but I did just want to express the value of IMS and the PowerPoint presentations that we have here because there's a lot of different ones. Let's say you're not too familiar with the Roth conversions or partial Roth conversions or understanding the Secure Act 2.0. You could literally learn along with your client. We've put together these presentations so that not only your client is learning and growing, but you're learning and growing along with them. And with that, you get to take that into every single household that you're going into. You know that every house you go into, you're going to develop another level of knowledge and experience. And so the longer you've been doing this, you've had a lot of experience because you've gone into so many houses. It may be to the point where you have it down where you do the same thing every single time. And so you could use, that middle slide, for example, every single time. So I highly encourage you to really explore all of these PowerPoints because, again, you get to educate your clients right from the get-go with these PowerPoint presentations and these client glides that we put together. Next, we do also have some prospecting letters. So we're also concerned about your marketing. So we've put together customizable letters that you can just put your name on there, put your logo on there, put your branding on there. It's customizable. They're going to be on Word documents. So you could send it out as a mailer or you could send it out through email campaign. It's whatever your preference is. So feel free to use our prospecting letters. Absolutely love those. Wish I had those when I was an agent. Um, Pre-made social media posts and then copy design for you to easily market to individuals concerned about taxation. I really like this. I am not a huge social media person, but with the way things are going of today, I think it's also really crucial to maybe have a social media manager or someone to manage your social media if you're not currently doing it, because people are on their phones all the time anymore. People are looking on YouTube, people are looking on Facebook, people are looking on LinkedIn. People are constantly looking at your credibility. So the more educational information that you have, any good branding information you have on your practice, highly valuable. So if you're not using social media, I would highly encourage you to. Um, some agents I know they get by without the social media, But those are typically the agents that I have that are slowing down. If you're looking to scale and really expand, and if you're in that point of your career, because as you know, it's not going to be the same for everyone. You have people slowing down and you have people speeding up. It just depends where you're at. And so if you are trying to expand, scale, and grow, you're going to want to use social media. And so thankfully we do have these preset ones that we've already put together. We also have several vendor solutions. So, if you're not using any kind of like drip marketing campaign for your existing book because you need to build up your book, we do have certain programs like White Glove, for example, Leading Response, Juice Box. These are all great solutions. And my next webinar will probably be on marketing. So I can certainly cover these things because, again, we're connecting point A to point B. So in actuality, you could honestly probably use this as a webinar series to learn how to connect point A, point B, and really put together the whole appointment process that you're trying to do. Because macro tax planning is a concept in itself, and so is the sales process. The sales process is what we are trying to really show you here and working in this concept. And so, um, similar to agents where you're connecting product to client, we're connecting marketing to you because you may already have a solid marketing foundation that you're using and you're having success with, or you're going to be an agent that needs to look for something else. And so we do have several vendor options that you can select from. And so that'll probably be my next webinar that I'll be doing. Okay, and so now we're in the question and answer portion. If you missed any of the slides and want me to go back, let me know. I will definitely pull that up for you because we are pretty good on time here. While we're waiting on some questions, I'm going to launch another one of our favorite polls here. Would you like more information on the IMS Marketing Dollars program? So while I'm waiting on some questions, I'll go ahead and launch this out, leave it there for longer. Yeah, that marketing reimbursement, I certainly would take advantage of it if you're not already, especially if you've been with us. If you're not with us yet, again, you do get that, you do get 180 days to submit some annuity or life premium and get a good amount of marketing back. So certainly. I got a question. Where do I find these resources? I'll send them out to you. I think it was Donald that asked. So I'll send them out to you. You'll be one of the first people I call once I get out of here, Donald. No problem. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll now. I got 100% yes. Nice. Close that out. And then our last poll here, would you like more information on the topic discussed today? Launch that. 100% yes. And by the way, guys, there is just so much to cover within this concept. I know I quickly went over this and then you'll get the macro tax planning kit. I highly encourage you to connect with your life or annuity director because I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, but there are several things that you could tie into this to make the solutions for your clients make sense. Like it might not make sense to do a charitable giving type of policy right at the get-go for some people, but we could find ways to make it make sense because at the end of the day, we're the financial professionals helping guide these people. I think something that I see a lot of times is the agent will bow down to whatever the client wants. And yes, we're in a customer service industry where whatever the client says goes. Yes. But I do believe it is our moral responsibility to also help guide them into figuring out what is best in their situation. And so macro tax planning provides that solution as an agent to be able to develop a high level concept to your clients. And so when you're talking on a high level like that, you also get referrals because they're going to be going to their parties, their get-togethers, people they meet at the coffee shop. They're going to be talking about you all day every day because you're seeing these people year to year, some people. um, so you become very close and develop that relationship. So any chance you can get to provide a high level concept makes you a high level agent. So definitely encourage you to maybe consider this concept highly. I don't see any more questions, and so, oh, can you show the slides before power, can you show the slides before the PowerPoint presentation slide? Yes, I will go ahead and do that. So I'm going to briefly show the slides. We are recording this as we usually do. Oh, let me close that poll. Maybe that's why. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back a little. I know someone wanted me to go back. We are recording this, so this will be up on YouTube um, on our IMS page, and then of course I'll be sending this out to you. You might not get these specific slides, but you will get some of the other slides, like the PowerPoints that we put together, and then of course the entire kit. And then you're gonna also get a copy of the recording. So these are the prospecting letters. Go here. Actually, I'll start from the beginning. Escape. So this is the slideshow again. I'm just going to go through it briefly here. Okay, today's agenda. There's about 2 slides of macro tax planning, what exactly it is, like the concept of it, and how you could connect that to your life insurance or annuity practice or both. And then here we have our client guides, which will be available in the macro tax planning kit. And then we have our agent resources here. These are a little bit more carrier specific because again, we're planting seeds here. And then we have our PowerPoint presentations, which you're welcome to use. The new retirement rules, that's a great one because it's based off of doing all of this business compliantly. And then we do have our how tax planning affects the 4 key retirement challenges, my personal favorite, and then the Roth conversion one. We have some prospecting letters, really nice ones at that. I think there's multiple. I don't think there's just one. I think there's a few in there. And then our social media posts, the turnkey social media posts that you can use. And we do have social media managers here. So if you do need help and want to get onto the social media side, just let us know. I'll give you a connection. And then our vendor solutions, I think it'd probably be a good idea to do a good webinar on some of these lead programs. I've done webinars before where I'll talk about multiple lead programs in one. That way you have a nice Costco sampling of some of the programs that we have here, but we work with so many. So I'll definitely include these and a few more. And then we're back at Q&A. So those would be the slides. And again, I'm sending you the recording. I'm going to open the questions back up again, see if we've got any more, if I missed anybody. Can you show the agent resources slide again? Yes. Okay, go ahead, go back to that. And then, by the way, this is also something that I'll be calling you on. So if you're a newer agent, or you just want a refresher of everything that we have here, just give us a call. We are always excited to talk to you guys. Go ahead. And so that's our new producer builder. That's for our new agents. Again, 180 days to do this. Don't be limited by what you see on the screen there. And then we have our other IMS business builders. Now, this is for people that have been here a little bit longer and have graduated the 180 days from being a new producer, a referred producer program. Now, that program, I will say, if you get in and it's, let's say it's your second day, but you just really love IMS so far in that one day, refer someone and it'll still count. You don't have to wait 180 days for that RPM to kick in. And then you do have that marketing reimbursement that's available after 180 days of being with IMS. Back office support. We work smarter and not harder here, meaning we've got great people to help you. And then you also do have all of the stuff on the IMS portal. And then our IMS website that is available to you 24/7. There's a lot of really, really great things on there. We also have a nudie rate watch. Nudie rate watch, some people have to pay for the subscription, but we give that to our IMS agents for free. Then we've got our nice e-app solutions, and we do have Firelight staff and Luma staff to go along with it. I personally also usually tend to help my agents with some of this stuff. Not everything on the new business side, of course, but just little things here and there. If I could help any, I do try to do that before getting you over. Then we've got our creative services from our very own in-house creative department. And then this is an example of one of our complementary marketing analyses. And what this is designed to do is strengthen your brand. I've done rebranding for some people, even maybe explore new marketing options. Just really develop a track record, or not a track for you to run on to develop a track record. There you go. And then we have our IMS Wealth Management team. If you're an aspiring, um, if you're an ex, and if you're looking to get on the advisory side, you can always start with our starter program on that end, and we can always connect you with Duncan Smith over there. And then if you are already securities licensed, I definitely wouldn't hurt to give Duncan a call because um, they just do such a great job with the IMS Wealth Management team. They're just such on a high level. And then we've got our Life and Annuity Academy. Again, we've got one coming up, and so I did get a few yeses for the next one. I'll probably be in August. Really love this event. It also gives me the opportunity to meet you because I'm on the phone with you guys. I'm doing these webinars. I still have not met some of some of my agents. And so if you come to Academy, this gives me the opportunity to sit down with you and get to know you more and just shake hands with you. I think that's really valuable too, getting to know who you're doing business with. Our Trek to Quebec trip, we are on the cusp of the end of that qualification period. So if you've been with us for a while, highly encourage you again to see where you're at in qualification. And if you've already qualified and you're on here, congratulations. You'll have to let me know how the trip went. And that would conclude everything. So again, thank you so much for attending my webinar. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got a lot of value from it. I will be reaching out with the macro tax planning kit as well as your directors to see if you have any questions or any case design where we could structure this concept into your appointments. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend.